Imagine finding a single penny that could be worth thousands, even millions of dollars. Sounds impossible, right? Well, if you have a 1985 US penny, you might just be sitting on a hidden fortune. While most pennies are only worth face value, a select few contain rare errors and unique features that make them highly sought after by collectors. Could you be holding one of these treasures in your pocket change right now? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how one lucky find could change your life forever. The 1985 Lincoln penny might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance. It features the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in use since 1959. Billions of these pennies were minted across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the kicker. Within those billions, a small number of pennies contain rare and valuable errors that make them worth far more than just 1 cent. One of the most exciting errors found on the 1985 penny is the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin's design is imprinted twice due to a misalignment in the minting process. This creates a distinct doubling effect on certain parts of the coin, particularly the date, the word liberty, or in God we trust. If you have a 1985 penny with strong doubling, you could be looking at a coin worth anywhere from $1,000 to $50,000, depending on its condition and how dramatic the error appears. Some examples with exceptionally clear doubling have sold for even higher amounts in auctions, with collectors always on the lookout for the next rare find. Another major error to watch for is the off-center strike. This happens when a coin is not properly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted dramatically. Off-center strikes can range from minor misalignments to extreme errors where half the coin is blank. The more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 1985 penny with a severe off-center strike, especially one where the date is still visible, could be worth thousands of dollars, making it a must-have for numismatic enthusiasts. But wait, there's another error that could make your 1985 penny a goldmine. Have you ever heard of a coin being struck on the wrong planchet? This error occurs when a penny is mistakenly struck on a planchet meant for a different coin, such as a dime or a foreign currency. These mistakes are incredibly rare, but when they do surface, they fetch jaw-dropping prices. If you have a 1985 penny that seems too small, too large, or is missing its copper plating, you might have a rare wrong planchet error on your hands. Some of these rare errors have been sold for over $100,000 at auction, as they are considered unique anomalies by collectors and coin experts alike. And then, there's the die crack error. Over time, the high-pressure minting process can cause cracks in the dies used to stamp coins. When this happens, the cracks appear as raised lines or jagged marks on the coin. Some of the most valuable die cracks are those that extend across Lincoln's face or run along the words on the coin. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for dramatic die cracks, with some specimens selling for thousands. These errors give coins a distinctive appearance, setting them apart from standard pennies and making them rare gems in the eyes of numismatists that if you're searching through your change, you might also come across a clash die error. This happens when two dies strike each other without a coin in between, transferring elements of the reverse design onto the obverse, or vice versa. On a 1985 penny, this could mean faint images of the Lincoln Memorial appearing on Lincoln's portrait side or parts of Lincoln's head showing up on the reverse. These eerie and fascinating errors are highly prized by collectors, sometimes bringing in thousands of dollars depending on their clarity and uniqueness. The more prominent and defined the clash, the more valuable the coin can be, making it a thrilling discovery for anyone lucky enough to find one. But here's the big question. How do you know if your 1985 penny is one of these rare treasures? The first step is to carefully examine the coin under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the details closely. Look for any unusual doubling, missing or misaligned elements, or raised cracks on the surface. If you suspect you have a valuable error, the next step is to get the coin professionally graded. Reputable grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can authenticate and grade your coin, significantly increasing its value to collectors. A certified grade can mean the difference between a coin selling for a few $100s and one selling for tens of thousands. Once your coin is verified, you have several options. You can sell it at an auction, list it on online marketplaces like eBay, or take it to a reputable coin dealer. Some of the highest prices for rare 1985 pennies have been achieved at auctions, where eager collectors drive the value up to extraordinary levels. The right penny in the right auction could turn a humble 1-cent piece into a 5 or even 6-figure payday. It's all about getting your coin in front of the right buyers, and knowing the market trends can make all the difference. So, what are the chances of finding a rare 1985 penny in circulation today? While these valuable errors are certainly rare, they do exist, and new discoveries are still being made. People have found rare error pennies in old piggy banks, inherited coin collections, and even in their pocket change from the store. The key is to stay vigilant and keep searching. You never know when you might stumble upon the next million-dollar penny. The thrill of the hunt is part of what makes coin collecting such an exciting and rewarding hobby. Before you toss that handful of pennies aside, take a second look. That simple coin in your collection could be hiding a rare, minting error that transforms it from an ordinary cent into an extraordinary fortune. Have you ever found an unusual or valuable coin in your collection? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries. Who knows? The next big treasure might just be waiting for you to find it. Stay curious, keep searching, and happy collecting. Imagine this. You're sorting through your pocket change, completely unaware that a tiny, unassuming 1991 penny could be hiding a massive fortune. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny from 1991 could be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The real question is, do you have one? And how can you tell if you're sitting on a gold mine? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to cash in on this incredible opportunity. Most people don't give pennies a second thought. They get tossed in jars left on the ground or even thrown away. But if you knew just how valuable certain rare error pennies could be, you'd never look at your change the same way again. The 1991 US penny, at first glance, seems like just another common coin. But some rare varieties contain minting mistakes so significant that collectors are willing to pay jaw-dropping amounts to get their hands on them. And the shocking part? Some of these rare pennies are still in circulation today, just waiting to be discovered. Before we dive into the rarest and most valuable 1991 penny errors, let's take a step back and understand what makes this coin so special. The 1991 penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Series, featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. By this time, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned from copper to a zinc core with a thin copper plating, a change that occurred in 1982 to reduce production costs. While billions of these pennies were struck, it's the tiny mistakes, minting errors, that turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary one. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Some 1991 pennies were struck with rare and valuable errors that dramatically increased their worth. And the most famous among them? The elusive 1991 No-S proof penny. Proof pennies are specially made for collectors with a sharp, mirror-like finish. Normally, all 1991 proof pennies should have an S mint mark indicating they were struck at the San Francisco Mint. But a few of them, due to a minting mistake, were struck without that S. This error is so rare that only a handful have ever been found, and when they do show up at auction, they sell for staggering amounts. The last known sale of a 1991 No-S proof penny fetched over $25,000. Imagine finding one of these in a collection. What would you do with that kind of money? And here's the kicker. Experts believe there are still undiscovered No-S proof pennies out there. One could be hiding in a forgotten proof set, waiting for someone like you to uncover it. But that's just the beginning. There are more rare errors on the 1991 penny that can turn a small copper-plated coin into a massive payday. One of the most valuable error types is the double die. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's features. While some double die pennies have sold for thousands, certain variations of the 1991 double die penny remain undiscovered, meaning the next big find could be yours. Another valuable error to watch for is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin isn't positioned correctly in the minting press, causing an uneven, misaligned design. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some extreme off-center pennies have sold for over $1,000, just for 1 cent. Imagine going through a roll of pennies and pulling out one of these rare finds. Then there's the broad strike error. This occurs when the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread out and appear wider than usual. Broad strike pennies are highly sought after by collectors. And if you happen to find a 1991 penny with this error, it could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. And let's not forget the rare transitional errors. Occasionally, the U.S. Mint accidentally strikes coins on the wrong metal planchets. If a 1991 penny were to be mistakenly struck on an older, solid copper planchet instead of the usual zinc-copper mix, it would be an incredible discovery. We know from previous years that transitional errors have sold for huge amounts, and the possibility of one existing for 1991 is real. If you ever come across a 1991 penny that feels heavier than usual, it's worth getting checked out. You might have something truly special. So, how do you actually find and identify these valuable 1991 pennies? The first step is simple. Start looking. Check your pocket change, search through old coin jars, and if you have access to bank rolls, sort through them carefully. Many rare coins are found simply because someone took the time to look. Once you've got a 1991 penny in hand, grab a magnifying glass or a coin microscope and examine it closely. Look at the details of Lincoln's face, the date, and the lettering. If you notice any doubling, unusual spacing, or missing details, you could be onto something big. If you're lucky enough to find a proof penny from 1991, check for the mint mark. If there's no S, you might be holding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. Of course, coin condition matters greatly when it comes to value. A penny graded as mint state MS 65 or higher is always worth more than one that's been heavily circulated. If you think you've found a valuable error penny, consider getting it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Having an official certification can increase the value significantly and make it easier to sell at auction. Now, let's talk about where to sell these rare coins. If you find a valuable 1991 penny, there are multiple ways to cash in. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers regularly handle high-value coins, often fetching record-breaking prices. Online platforms like eBay and Etsy can also be good options, but be careful. Scammers are always looking to take advantage of sellers who don't know the true worth of their coins. A safer approach is to work with a reputable coin dealer who can verify authenticity and offer a fair price. And here's a key tip. If you find a rare error penny, you might not want to sell it right away. The value of rare coins often appreciates over time, especially as collectors continue to seek out missing pieces for their collections. Holding onto a high-grade, rare 1991 penny could mean an even bigger payout in the future. Before you rush off to check your change, remember this. There are still undiscovered error coins out there. Every year, new varieties and mistakes are found, often in the most unexpected places. Experts believe that more rare 1991 pennies could still be out there, waiting for someone like you to find them. Just imagine, your next penny could be the key to a hidden fortune. So, what are you waiting for? Start searching, and if you do find something incredible, be sure to share your discovery in the comments. Who knows? Your story could be featured in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating coin hunting secrets. And if you want to learn about another shocking rare coin that could be worth a fortune, stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, happy hunting, and may your next penny be the one that changes your life forever.